Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You know, it's funny. We all spend so much time thinking about the future, right? Like, what are we having for dinner? What am I doing this weekend?
It's true, always planning ahead.
But have you ever thought about, the really distant future? Like the fate of our entire planet billions of years from now?
Yeah, though you mention it.
Well, get ready, because that's what we're diving into today. The articles you sent in are about this system called KMT-2020-BLG-0414.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
And it's got astronomers seriously buzzing about what it could mean for the future of Earth. Like, are we catching a glimpse of our planet's destiny billions of years down the road?
Okay, so first things first. We're dealing with a star system about 4,000 light years away, and at the heart of it, a white dwarf.
Hold on. For those of us who need a little refresher course on our stellar evolution white dwarf, that's what happens after a star like our sun, burns through all its fuel.
You got it.
Right. And shrinks down to this tiny, super dense ember of its former self.
Exactly. Think of it like the final chapter in a star's life. It's still radiating heat from all that energy it built up over billions of years, but the party's pretty much over. Except, in this case, there's a plot twist.
Oh, I like plot twists. What is it?
They found a planet orbiting this white dwarf, an Earth-sized rocky planet, and they're calling it KB-2000-414.
Okay, that's cool and all, but white dwarfs, they're tiny, right? So this planet must be crazy close to it.
Closer than you might think. It's orbiting at a distance that's similar to where Mars is in our own solar system.
Whoa. Hold up a sec. So you're telling me that if our sun goes white dwarf, which it will, and
Right.
Earth is still kicking around, we're talking way closer to the sun than even Mars.
You're getting it, yeah.
Talk about a change in the cosmic neighborhood.
Right. And just to make things even more interesting, there's another player in this system. A brown dwarf.
Okay, brown dwarf time. Quick recap. They're like the awkward middle child of the cosmos, right? Not quite massive enough to ignite into a full-blown star, but way bigger than a planet.
Pretty much. Some astronomers even like to call them failed stars.
I mean, I get it, but kind of harsh, don't you think?
A little bit. But hey, that's a topic for a whole other deep dive.
It's totally another deep dive. So we've got this white dwarf, its surprisingly close rocky planet, and this brown dwarf all hanging out together 4,000 light years away. How on earth, so to speak, did we even find this whole sister in the first place?
That's the really cool part, actually. This discovery was made using something called gravitational microlensing. It's like using the universe's own magnifying glass.
I'm listening.
Picture this. The gravity of objects like this white dwarf system. It can actually bend and focus light from more distant stars that are behind it from our point of view.
So it's like this invisible lensing effect.
Exactly. And as that light bends, it creates these temporary blips in brightness that we can detect here on Earth.
That is so wild. So we're talking super subtle changes in light from across the galaxy.
Exactly. It requires some seriously sensitive instruments and careful observation, but it's a powerful tool for finding things we could never see directly.
Almost poetic, don't you think? This faint light bent by gravity over these unimaginable distances, and it's telling us a story about the future.
Love that.
And speaking of the future, this discovery has got everyone talking about what this could mean for Earth, right? Because our sun, well, it's not going to be around forever either. Could this planet, what was it called again?
KB-2000-411 pound.
Right, KB-2000-4141 pound.
Could that be Earth's fate billions of years from now?
That's the million-dollar question, and while we can't say for sure yet, this discovery is giving us a lot to think about.
Okay, so let's break this down a little. Before our sun goes full white dwarf on us, it's going to go through a bit of a red giant phase, am I right? Absolutely. That's the next chapter in our sun's story. In about 5, maybe 6 billion years, our sun is going to start running out of hydrogen, the fuel that keeps it burning bright. And when that happens, things are going to get interesting.
Interesting might be an understatement.
True, because when I say interesting, I mean the sun's going to expand a lot, like potentially engulfing Mercury and Venus kind of a lot.
Okay, so those inner planets, not looking so good. What about Earth? Where do we stand in this whole cosmic real estate shakeup?
Well, that's where things get a little uncertain. Some models show that Earth, it might just escape being, completely swallowed up by the sun.
Okay, that's something.
But, and this is a big but, even if Earth dodges that whole fiery inferno situation,
Here's more.
always more. That doesn't mean we're off the hook. Think about it. As the sun expands into this red giant, things here on Earth, yeah, they're going to get a bit warm.
We're talking like beach weather warm or...
More like runaway greenhouse effect makes Venus look like a kiddie pool kind of warm.
Oh, so not great. So even if we technically don't get swallowed whole by the sun, we're basically post anyway.
Yeah, not the most optimistic outlook, I'll grant you that.
Yeah, not exactly a great selling point for a timeshare on future Earth. But, okay, let's say, just for fun, that somehow, some way, life finds a way to survive on this superheated Earth. Is that what they're trying to figure out with this whole KMT-2020-BLG-0414 thing?
Well, it's a bit more nuanced than that. First off, we have absolutely zero evidence that there is, or ever was, life on KB-2000-414.
Right, of course.
But this discovery, what it does is it throws open a door that we thought was basically welded shut,
How so?
Well, up until now, it was kind of assumed that planets wouldn't survive a star's red giant phase. Like it was just game over.
Because the star would just engulf them, right?
Exactly. So to find a planet like KB-2000-414, chilling out around a white dwarf, it tells us that, hey, maybe our assumptions need a little adjusting.
So what, like a cosmic mulligan? The star takes a swing, misses the planet, and the game's back on?
In a way, yeah. And that opens up some seriously mind-blowing possibilities. For starters, it means that systems like this, they might be way more common than we ever thought. And if planets can hang tough around white dwarfs, well, that just blew the roof off where we might find life out there in the cosmos.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So it's not just about finding Earth-like planets around sun-like stars anymore.
Right. We got to think bigger, bolder, think outside the habitable zone, so to speak.
I like it. So where does that leave us? What are we thinking, black hole picnics?
Not quite. But here's another wild thought. What if the surface of a planet, like, say, KB-2000-414, what if it's a no-go for life, right? Totally fried.
Right.
But what if there are other places in these systems, places that could be, a little more welcoming?
Hang on, are you talking about, like, moons? Like, the planet's a bust, but its moons could be the real winners.
Bingo. I mean, think about our own solar system. We've got Europa and Enceladus, right? Those icy moons.
Yeah, with the whole hidden oceans thing.
Exactly. Some scientists think that when our sun starts acting up, going all red giant on us, these moons, they might actually become more livable. The icy shells melt away. You've got these vast oceans, maybe even life as we don't know it, thriving down there.
So while we're here worrying about our SPF, some future life form could be working on their tan on a moon, watching their parent planet slowly turn into a giant cosmic ember. That's just wow.
The universe is wild, man.
Yeah.
And this discovery, it just drives home how much more there is to learn, how important it is to keep exploring.
It's funny, right? We're sitting here talking about this planet, KB-2000-444, like it's just some random curiosity.
Light years away.
Exactly. But this isn't just about some far-off planet. It's about us, about our place in this whole crazy cosmic timeline. Like, we're part of this grand story that's been unfolding for billions of years, and it's still being written.
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives, but then you have discoveries like this that just remind you to zoom out, to remember the bigger picture.
Totally. It's both humbling and a little terrifying at the same time. Like, the universe is going to keep on doing its thing with or without us. But it's also kind of exhilarating, to think about these massive changes happening over billions of years. And we're here to learn about them.
Absolutely. And who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll find more planets like KB-2000-414. Maybe we'll find evidence of life in places we never thought possible.
Right. I mean, we already know that planets can survive their stars going all red giant. So what else is out there? What other cosmic surprises are waiting to be discovered? And maybe, just maybe, if humanity plays its cards right, we could become a spacefaring species. Find new homes among the stars as our own solar system. Well,
Goes through a few changes. Hey, stranger things have happened.
That's for sure. Well, on that note, a huge thank you to you for, taking us along on this mind-bending journey to the future, and to everyone listening. It's a good reminder that change is the only constant in the universe, and that sometimes even a dying star can hold the keys to discovering new worlds and maybe even new life. Until next time, keep looking up and never stop exploring.